Hi, my name's Justin Quick, and I am from Singapore. I'm 26 this year, and I went to Bristol between 2016 and 2019, and I studied law there. Before I went to Bristol, I was at ACSI in Singapore. Some of you might know it, some of you might not. And I did my A levels in the UK, and then served my national service in Singapore, and then I went straight to Bristol. Okay, so now there are kind of a few reasons why I did law. One, because I have very traditional Chinese parents and I can't do math, so that took out doctor and engineer from the equation, leaving law. Um, I can't say I regret it. I really enjoyed it. I also knew that I had kind of had skill sets for it. I was better at reading and writing than I was at numbers or science. So there you go. And really, I just didn't want to think too much about it. Law was something my parents wanted me to do. It seemed interesting, so I just got into it. At Bristol, so I did a ton of extracurricular work. I was the vice president of the University of Bristol Law Club, and I was a serious career chaser, a real hardo for it. I really wanted to get this job where I am now, so dreams do happen kind of sometimes maybe. Um, I went for a lot of networking events. I made sure I brushed up on commercial law, and I went for a whole lot of interviews. Spent a lot of time applying for this job. It's quite a tough process, to be honest, in the UK. And to be really honest, I enjoyed my time studying law as well, not just kind of doing a legal career, because studying law is actually quite different from corporate work, which I do now. Um, I just really enjoyed the research, if that makes sense. Like learning how it's applicable to the day to day. Like for example, in first year I learned that you can't contract your parents. So for those of you watching at home, if your parents ever ask you to do something and you don't do it, and they're like, oh, you told me you do it, blah blah blah, they can't contract with you because of Balfour versus Balfour 1919, I want to say. And you can just throw it in their face and say, no, that's not a contract. You can't contract with me. So things like that you learn at law school, which I think is really cool. I really like how kind of law regulates society. So apart from studying the law and working the law, I had fun. I think at Bristol, it's quite different from other schools. I mean, so other universities. In the sense that I think Bristol really gives you the freedom to choose what you want to do. I really wanted to do medical law, criminology, and IT law, right? And Bristol has really nice kind of like open second, third year when it comes to modules. So because I liked what I did, I could do it quite quickly, and that left me more time to just do what I want. So I played a lot of trading card games, Magic the Gathering, if you know it, which is like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon cards, except much older and also more competitive. So I went on a lot of overseas competitions. I like to play jazz at the and Mr. Wolf's, which is kind of like an open jazz bar. Um, that the university runs every Tuesday. I was really involved with the theatre. I acted in a play, and I wrote and directed another play. And I was really involved with the Singaporean and Malaysian Society as well, in Bristol, called the MSSA. And a lot of my really good friends are there, so we just kind of meet up, hang out. Typical uni kind of lifestyle, and I'm glad I had the time to do that, because once you start work, you really don't have time to do that. Okay, so how did I get my job? I really just grounded out. I don't think I'm one of those like super genius types. I work with them now. To be fair, a lot of my colleagues I think are like the top tier, Jardine scholars at Oxford, and they're really really smart. And I don't think I was like that, so I really had to put in the work. I had to kind of like really grind the application stage, really get good at interviewing, and really learn like the commercial world. For example, like what are the issues surrounding the Deliveroo IPO that came out recently. And really kind of trying over the first 2 years that helped me get my job in the third year. And which meant that in third year I could just relax and just concentrate on my schoolwork and myself, if that makes sense. My social life and everything. But yeah, I think what was more important than how I got my job is like why I got my job, if that makes sense. So in first year, I really kind of went out and tried a lot of different things. I worked at a bank for a while, at a tech startup. And then I did a few law firms, and I settled like, I probably want to work at a law firm for a few years because the money's good. Money's great. And I like the kind of work, especially tech, which is what I do now in Freshfields. So just for context, Freshfields is a magic circle firm in London, meaning it's one of the top 5 London firms. I think it's one of the top 10 firms in the world, but depending on who you ask. And right now I'm in corporate IPIT, so I'm helping clients like PayPal, like Google, kind of solve their legal problems, which I think is really cool. So any advice to freshers really is enjoy your time, like first year especially. You should start thinking about your job right now. The economy will pick up when you're graduating, so there will be a market for you. But you should really start thinking about what you like to do, what you want to do, whether you can do it, things like that, and kind of trying things out in your first year, because second year is really the time that you want to be kind of focused, and honing in on what you want, and third, you get to reap the rewards of not having to worry about your employment. I mean, obviously everyone does it at their own time. If you have circumstances that are different to you, and you wanna and you have you wanna wait maybe before you pick a job or before you enter the working world, that's absolutely fine. A lot of people find great jobs after graduation, post graduation. They do a master's, they do a doctorate. They just take a few years out for themselves. That's fine. Everyone follows their own speed. But I would advise you start thinking about it at least in first year. And enjoy yourself. Like to balance it out. Like go and find new things when everything's open again and safe. Go and try rock climbing. Go and try jazz. Try the theater. Try boxing. Try whatever you want, because university is really the only time in your life that you have like a support system around you. There's a school structure around you, but you have so much freedom to do whatever you want. So you should just go ahead, go and try it. If you have any questions, kind of just feel free to drop me a line. You can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn and just ask me a few questions if you want about coursework or about work. More likely, I'm more helpful about work, because I'm actually in this office, as you can see. Yeah, actually that's it on the list. So thanks for watching. I may or may not see you in Bristol, but I visit quite often. And enjoy.